and welcome. My name is Lola, and on this channel we're talking about learning English as a second language. I'm not a native speaker myself. I've learned mostly English as an adult, so I'm happy here to share my experience and knowledge from my real life. For today's video, I prepared quotes, phrases, and idioms that could be useful to you if you are an introvert. Now, I know it's a generalization who is an introvert, and actually I believe that at different times in our life we could be extroverted or introverted. So I think this lesson is going to be useful to everyone. Let's jump in. So number one, flying under the radar. And when you're flying under a radar, you stay unnoticed on purpose. You stay out of the public eye. You know, you could say, I go to the parties, but I'm flying under the radar. Like, you're not attracting attention. You kind of keep it to yourself. You're not trying to be that center of attention. You're just do your thing. And you can use this phrase in everyday life, but also in your professional life. For example, she's been flying under the radar, but her work is exceptional. Like, she's not trying to be this loud gal, but she does a great work. She's not attracting attention on purpose, but she's doing a good work. Another phrase is to each their own. You can use this phrase when you don't want to, elaborate on a topic, when you don't want to continue a conversation, when you and the person that you're talking to have different points of view. You could say, well, to each their own. I actually would use it as an end of conversation when somebody, this person who's trying to get into the argument, like, no, but this, and you're like, no, to each their own. Meaning each person can have their own opinion, which is different from one another. And that's okay, because we're all are different. Similar to this expression is an expression, it's not my scene. When it's not your scene, imagine if you're an actor and it's not your scene, you're not going to be acting in it. You're not going to be participating in it. You're not going to be joining this action. So it's not your scene. So let's say, playing football is not my scene. Or, getting drunk and singing it so all the neighbors can hear you is not my scene. You prefer to have your quiet time, and that's another phrase, quiet time. For example, you could say, evenings is my quiet time, or I need my quiet time in the morning. And it's very interesting. Sometimes in couples, one person could be super extroverted, or at times super extroverted, like I like to sing in the morning, like being loud, and your partner could need quiet time. She or he might not like loud noises, and it's okay. And actually introverted people, and I used to live, my roommate, she was introverted, very introverted, and she always needed her quiet time. And I would respect that, So if you're an introvert, chances are you need your quiet time. Another idiom is super cool, super useful, and I want to have Sean from our app, an American guy, explaining the meaning of it. Let's watch it.
Not my cup of tea. Funnily enough, it actually started out as something that was your cup of tea, meaning you liked it or you enjoyed it back in the 1800s in London. But now it got switched, so it's a negative thing, saying something is not my cup of tea, I don't like it, or more colloquially, more modernly, that's not my thing. Or, I'm good, bro. That's for you, not for me.
When was the last time you said, it's not my cup of tea?
My wife loves horror movies, all kinds of horror movies. And for me, not my cup of tea. I don't really love them. Usually for me, they always fall apart at the end. Once in a while, there'll be a good one, but for the most part, horror movies, not my cup of tea.
Thank you, Sean. And if you want to learn more idioms from Americans, listen to their explanation. And most importantly, the logic behind their explanation. Jump into Lola Speak app and find a bunch of useful content. So if learning in class is not your cup of tea, maybe you consider finding a cool app. Next cool phrase that you might use if you feel introverted is your space. I need my space, or I need some space. And by saying that, you mean that you want to be left alone, meaning you need time alone in your own space, in your own room, in your own apartment. You don't want to talk to somebody. Let's say you are starting a relationship, but you're not ready to fully commit to that person. Sometimes you feel like you need your space. Sometimes you feel like you need to spend some time alone with yourself, with your thoughts, with your feelings, maybe in your room reading. Maybe you need your quiet time. You just need your space. And I think it's okay. And I think it's nice to know your personal boundaries. And if you need some space, you should just communicate it to your friend, to your partner by saying, I just need some space. Because if you are an introvert or you feel introverted, you don't want to be bombarded with all this information from the outer world, and you want to go back to your inner world. You need to find your inner peace. And you need to, next phrase, recharge your batteries. It's another cool way of saying, I need to have some rest, but I need to recharge my batteries. When I hear that, I know that the person, once again, needs to be left alone, because everybody has their own ways of recharging the batteries. And somebody needs to walk alone, somebody needs to sleep, somebody needs to watch some cool movies or read some books. And the last one, but not the least, is to keep a low profile. You could imagine, literally, profile, speaking of a figure, my profile, when you're keeping it low, you kind of stay unnoticed. Similar to flying under the radar, when you can't be caught, you can't be noticed. When we say, you could say you should keep a low profile, meaning stay modest, stay unnoticed for whatever reason. For example, you had some troubles at school, keep a low profile. Or somebody's trying to keep a low profile because he or she doesn't want to jinx things. For example, until my promotion gets announced, I keep a low profile. I'm not telling it to anyone. I'm just like, I'm doing my thing. I keep a low profile. So if you're an introvert, most likely going, because you have to sometimes go outside, you would prefer to keep a low profile. You don't want to attract attention. You want to stay out of public notice, literally not being visible. So that's it for today. Let me know in comments which phrases and idioms you knew before this video and which one were new to you, so I will feel so good by making this video and helping you to learn something interesting and useful. And if you don't want to miss the next video, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. And if you want to practice English, download our app. See you.